Welcome back, students. Here in this session I am going to discuss about what do you mean by functions, how we are going to implement the function in using C++, what are the different types of functions, what do you mean by recursion, how we are going to passing the parameters to the functions, what are the calling function, what is the called function, all those things are going to discuss in this session. Here already you know that what do you mean by function, already you learn function in C. Function is a subprogram which is used to perform a specific task. Function is a subprogram which is used to perform a specific task. See here, in C++, we can call the function as procedure or subroutine. In C++, we can call the function as procedure or subroutine. Here, for example, a very large program is there. For example, 100 lines of code is there or 500 lines of code is there. In that particular code, here we are going to divide that particular program into subparts. For example, 500 lines of code is there. 500 lines of code is there. In this case, we are going to divide this code into subparts. Here 100, 200, 300, depending upon the code. Depending upon the code, we are going to dividing that particular code into subparts. Each subpart is known as a function. Each subpart is known as a function, and it is going to perform a specific task. And it is going to perform a specific task. Here there are two types of the function. There are two types of the functions are there in C++, library functions and user defined functions. Library functions are already known here. Library functions are already known as predefined functions. These functions are predefined and these functions are stored in C++ library. Whenever we are going to use that particular functions, directly we have to include that particular functions in our program by using #include. For example, here cin is there, cout is there. These two are the functions, right? Here input function, output function is there. For this two, here no need to write the code of cin, cout in our program. Just we have to include the header file in which these two functions are present. Here these two functions, where these two functions are present, IOStream. IOStream is the header file. In this IOStream header file, these two functions are present. Just we have to include these two. Just we have to include IOStream.h header file in our program. Then directly we can use cin, cout. mat.h, one more header file is there. mat.h is there. Here, whenever we are going to include this mat.h header file, directly we are going to use this to find the absolute value of any number, or to find the log value, to find the square root value. Directly we can include these functions. We can include these functions in our program if we are going to include mat.h header file. See here, library functions are predefined functions. Whenever the program is developed that particular language, some of the functions are predefined. Those predefined functions are stored in C++ library. To include those predefined functions, we have to include the header file in which these predefined functions are stored. Next one is the user defined functions. User defined functions means here these functions are defined by the user. These functions are defined by the user. Here whenever we are going to use this user defined function, it reduces the complexity of a big program and optimizes the code. Here already I explained that, for example, if 500 lines of code program is there, we are dividing that particular program code into subparts, and each subpart is known as a function. Those functions are predefined functions. User defined functions, right? Here whatever the functions are defined, those functions defined by the user, those functions are known as the user defined functions. We have to define the user and we have to declare the user defined functions in our program. General syntax of a function. Here return type, function name, data type parameters, code to be executed. Here function name is name of the function. Function name indicates the name of the function. Here whenever we are going to write name of the function, it must follow some set of rules. Here name of the function must be start with the character. There is no space will be present in the name of the function, and we are not going to start the name of the function with any special character. All those rules must be followed while you are going to write the name of the function, and we are not going to use any keywords. We are not going to use any keywords to put the name of the function. For example, here keyword is integer. You can't write integer as a function. Why? Because integer is a keyword. Or you can't write double as a function name. Why? Because double is a keyword. Right? And you can't use this float as a function. Why? Because float is a keyword. So whenever we are going to write whenever we are going to give any name to the function, in that case we have to start with the character. There will be no space will be present in between that particular function name. Here function name is not going to start with any special character, and we are not going to use any keyword to put the function name. Right? Here I'll write, for example, I am going to defining one function, add function. Here this add function is used for addition of by using this add function I am going to perform addition of two numbers. By using this add function I am going to perform addition of two numbers, right? Add function is there. Now here next is the data type parameter. Data type parameter. Here addition of two numbers. Addition of two numbers means here I am going to pass two parameters. I am going to pass two parameters for this add function. Here A, B. Here parameters are A comma B. Right? Before that parameters data type is there. Whenever we are going to use any parameters in the function, we have to declare those parameters. Here I am going to perform addition of two integers. So data type is int. So int A comma int B. Right? Next, code to be executed. Code to be executed. What is the code to be executed? Here A equals to 5, B equals to 6. Here I am going to write int C equals to A plus B. C equals to A plus B. Now, close the braces. Here return type is there, right? Return type. Here what do you mean by return type? What do you mean by return type? Here this is the function. If the function is returning any value to the main function, here we are defining the function here. Here we are going to declare the function in function main. Here I am going to define here. In function main I am declaring the function. Here I am defining the function. Right? Here if I am going to return anything to the function main, then return type must be that particular data type. Here what is the C value? C is an integer value, right? For example, if I am going to write return C, what does it mean? Here I am returning the value C to the function main. Here I am returning the value of C to the function main, right? What is the data type for this C? Integer. Int C is there. So what is the return type of this add function? Integer. So here I am returning the integer value C here. That's why here we have to write return type. If I am going to return here float value, then the return type is float. If I am going to return character value, then the return type is character. If I am going to return double value, then the return type is double. Depending upon the return type, data type, that particular return type, function type is going to be decided. In some cases, we are not going to return anything to the function main. Here, see here, directly I am printing the value here. Value of C, see directly I am printing C, value of C here. So I am not going to return anything to the function main. At that time return type will be void. Return type will be void. See, return type will be void. Here if we are not going to return anything to the function main, if the function is not going to return any value to the function main, at that time return type will be void. Here this is the syntax of a function. Here I'll explain the function with an example. Here I am going to use this function fun here, one function func here in int main I am declaring the function, in int main I am declaring the function func. Here I am writing the code void function int I equals to 0, int j equals to 0, sir, int I equals to 0, previous slide. Int I equals to 0, int j equals to 0, I plus plus j plus plus is there now. Here in this case here I am defining the function. Here what type of operations we are going to perform in that particular function is known as defining the function. Here declaring the function means what is the function name, what is the return type of the function, all those things are going to be present in declaration of a function. Here this is the declaration of a function, this is the definition of a function. Right, here already explained what you mean by hash include iostream.h, right, iostream.h. Here I am going to use cin, cout functions are there. Here cout function is there. Here cin function, input function and output functions are there. These two functions are present in std iostream.h header file. That's the reason we are going to include that iostream.h header file, right. See here, whenever we are going to execute this program, here whenever you are going to press Ctrl plus F9, here compiler is going to check whether where is the int main function is there. Here int main is there. Here whenever after int main opening the braces function and func is there. Whenever the compiler is going to read func, directly control is transferred to this function here void func. Here int I comma int j. Int I comma j are the local variables to the function. Int I comma j are the local variables to the function. What do you mean by local variable? We are having two variables, local variable and global variable. Local variable and global variable. Local variable means the variables which are declared within a function only. The variables which are declared within the function only, then those variables are known as the local variables. See here in this function func, int I is there, int j is there. These two are the local variables. These two are the local variables. If I am going to declare here instead of int ij in function I am declaring I comma j, or else here I will explain one thing. See here I am declaring I comma j here. These I comma j are local to this function func. So we can use these two variables within this function only, func only. Here the scope of the local variable is present within that particular function only. Wherever the local variables are going to declare, the scope of the local variables are present within that particular function only. See here in int main is there. In int main we are having int m is there. Int m is there. The scope of the m variable is present within the main only. The scope of the m function, m variable is present within the main only. See here, outside the main I am declaring one variable int k. See here, I am declaring one more variable k, which is the outside the main function. Whenever we are going to declare any variable outside the main function, those variables are known as the global variables. Those variables are known as the global variables. The scope of the global variable is present throughout the entire program. Throughout the entire program is, see here, I comma j are local to fun function. Here I am going to use k equals to I plus j. This statement is right. Why? Because k is the global variable. Why k is the global variable? K variable is declared outside the function main. That's the reason k is the global variable. K equals to I plus j. This statement is right. Scope means where we can use that particular variable. Scope means where we can use that particular variable. Here scope of the local variable is present within that particular function only, whereas the scope of the global variable is present throughout the entire program. Throughout the entire program, the scope of the global variable is present. Here, see here. Int m is there, m equals to k plus k. Again k is the global variable. K is the global variable. So we can use here k. M equals to k plus. This statement is also right one. Here we are using k in function func. We are using here k in main function also. In some cases, if I am going to use m equals to k plus I, m equals to k plus I, is it possible? No. Why? Because here I is the local to func, local to this function. I is the local variable to the function. Here scope of the I is present within this particular function only. We can't use this I outside the function. We can't use this I outside the function. So we are going to get the error here. We are going to get the error here. Here you get the difference between local variable and global variable. Main definition is local variable means the variables which are declared within the function only. Local variables are going to declare within the function only. The scope of the local variable is present within that particular function only, whereas global variables are declared outside the main function and the scope of the global variable is present throughout the entire program. Now see here, void function here, void I comma j, I plus plus. What do you mean I plus plus? Means incrementation of I. Now here first I am calling the first function func. func means directly a function is going to calling this void function int I equals to 0. What is the value of I equals to 0. What is the value of j equals to 0. I plus plus, increment the value of I equals I plus plus means I equals to I plus 1, 0 plus 1, 1, right. J plus plus means increment the value of j. Now j becomes j is 0, 0 plus 1, 1, right. See out value of I equals to, what is the value of I here? 1. What is the value of j? See out, j value is j equals to 1, right. Closing the braces. Here I am calling the function. Now I am executing the function. After here, whenever the compiler is going to read this closing braces, directly it will go back to the function main. Again it is going to be executed the next statement. What is the next statement here? Again we are calling the function, same function. Directly whenever the compiler is going to read this func, directly control is going to transfer here. Int I, right? Int I equals to 0, j equals to 1. Right, I plus plus, j plus plus. See out value of I equals to and value of j. Here we are going to get I equals to 2, j equals to 1. Right. This is the example of functions. Here next is a very important function is recursive functions. Recursive functions. Recursive function is the one of the type of the function. The function which is calling itself again and again is known as the recursive function. The same function is going to call. The same function is going to call that particular function is known as the recursive function. When a function is called within the same function is known as the recursion or recursive functions. Right? Here general syntax is recursive function. Here this is the recursive function name, here recursive function, same, we are calling the same function. Here recursive function is also this, just like function only, recursive function is function only. Here the difference is, in the previous example, here compiler is calling the function, calling the function. Whenever compiler is going to read that particular function, it is going to be executed, the control is going to transfer. Whereas in case of recursive functions, here the same function again it is going to be called, that is the recursive function. All the properties which are going to be present for the functions, all those are going to be satisfied by the recursive functions. See here, example of recursion. Factorial of a given number. How we are going to find the factorial of a given number? See here, what do you mean by factorial of a given number? 4 factorial. For example, I want to find the factorial of 4. How you are going to find the factorial of 4? 4 into 4 minus 1 factorial, right? 4 into 4 minus 1 factorial. Next, 4 into, what is the 4 minus 1 factorial? 3 factorial, right? 3 factorial means 4 into, again we are calling 3 into 3 minus 1 factorial. Right? Now 4 into 3 into 2 into 2 minus 1 factorial. Right? 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 into 1 minus 1 factorial. 0 factorial is 1. So 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, well, 24. Value of the 4 factorial is 24. In this way we are going to find the factorial of 4. See here, we are calling the here 3 factorial. Right? Again 3 minus 1 factorial. We are calling this. Again 2 minus 1 factorial. 1 minus 1 factorial. So same, if I am going to define one factorial function, here I am calling the factorial function. Again here I am calling the factorial. Here I am calling the factorial function. Right? Here in this way we are calling the same function again and again. This is the process how we are going to find the factorial of a given number. See here. Right. Hash include iostream.h. Next, int factorial. I am defining one function, that is factorial, int factorial. Right? Int factorial. In bracket here I am writing int. Why we are going to write integer here? Here we can't find the factorial of a given factorial of a floating point number. We can't find the factorial of a character. Right? Here if you want to find the factorial of any number, it should be a character. Right? Sorry, it should be an integer value. That's the reason we are passing one integer value. Here if I am going to write int, only single integer, int data type, it means that I am going to pass only one value. I am going to pass only one value, that is the integer type. See here in the previous example, I am going to write add 2 comma 3. Addition of 2 numbers, right? Addition of 2 numbers means I am going to pass these 2 numbers. So add int comma int. I have to write add int comma int. Why? Because here I am passing 2 parameters. That's the reason I am going to write here int comma int. Here I am not here factorial. Factorial of 4. Factorial of 4 means I am going to pass only one value. Here I am passing only one value. That's the reason here I am going to write factorial int. If I am going to pass only one value, then I am going to write int. If I am going to pass 2 values, then we have to write int comma int separated by comma. If I am going to pass 3 values, int comma int comma int. Here in some cases for a single function we are going to pass integer floating point values. In that case, for example, multiplication int float int. Means here where first value must be an integer, second value must be float, third value must be an integer. Right? Here I'll explain this program in next video.